Please take a few minutes to hear from some of our established carers and adoptive parents to find out about their experience of working with us to give today's children a brighter future.
We became painfully aware that we were not going to have another child ourselves, and so we started thinking about adoption as a way of having more children. Yeah.
And I gave it lots of thought, probably over a year. I thought about it, discussed it with my birth son, and I decided to give Derby City a ring and start the process of becoming a foster carer.
We decided to adopt because we already had one birth child and wanted to think about having a second child. And as we're a same-sex couple, there are different ways to consider around that. But because there's so many children in this country we know need adopting, we just felt that that would be the right way to expand our family, really, right for all of us. So that's what we did.
We were looking into adopting a child. And we started to look into the process of adopting, but then realized that by fostering we could influence a lot more children than if we would just adopt. So that's how we got into fostering.
The application process was very thorough. A supervising social worker came out to assess me, and we spent lots of time talking about my background, my history, my experience, and we built up a very good relationship.
The approval process can seem a little bit daunting when you first start out. It does take several months, but I think if you speak to any foster care who's been approved with Derby City Council, they'll say that it isn't as daunting as it sounds. It's interesting, often quite fun, and people comment at the end that they've actually had a really enjoyable experience.
So actually the sessions didn't seem that many because that's your luxury time to just talk about you and your family and let them explore stuff. Don't get me wrong, it feels funny to have people probe into your life, but I try to look at it rationally, just think this is my chance to just get this right for me, right for whoever the child might be. And actually it's quite nice sometimes talking about your life.
The whole process is quite nerve-wracking, and when we went for the introductions, that was a little surreal in that you're introduced to this little girl in someone else's house, in the foster carer's house, and then you're suddenly expected to sort of pick them up and deal with them. It's all very strange.
I think as well we sort of did before running, so to speak, and because of Debbie's experience and my experience, because I was a youth worker for many years, I was able to combine that knowledge to create an environment where these young people that we're fostering, can get the greatest benefit from.
Because I'm a long-term carer, you see many changes in the children that I've looked after. I've got a sibling group, one's moved on to independent and the other one is still with me. He's doing fantastically well at school, has got the chance to go to university, and getting over his emotional difficulties has enabled him to achieve at school. For me, that's one of the most rewarding things.
At Derby City Council we welcome enquiries and we work with families who live within roughly a 50-mile radius of Derby City, and that's because for families who live outside of the area of the city, then there's a greater possibility that we'll be able to place Derby City children with those families. But having said that, we also work with Derby City families, and where we aren't able to make matches with our own children, then we work with other adoption agencies to make matches with children from other areas.
We were quite prepared for the first time we did meet them. We were mummy and daddy straight away, which was, it sort of catches you a bit, that does.
Yeah, tear to the eye.
Yeah, but it was lovely, but it was again down to preparation.
We were allocated our first worker, who's still our worker, and so she's been with us from, I think we had one initial visit with somebody else and then pretty much she took over, and so she's been with us the entire time, which has meant for our children, she's known Matty and Rebecca since they were 3 and 4, so she's grown up with them, so the understanding of who we are as a family has been amazing, the support that gives.
I've always said that some of the people that I've, or the young people that I've fostered, are probably the best people I know, really, once you've got them through, the bad bits and whatnot. And in a lot of cases, I have a wonderful relationship with a lot of them, and you don't judge them. You've got some that have gone on and got married, some that have gone on and decided to have children, some that have gone on into good careers. You know, you just respect them for who they are and what they've achieved as an individual.
I would definitely say if you think that adoption might be for you, is just look it up, call, speak to people, don't rule yourself out before you've rung up, because anybody can adopt as long as, in terms of characteristics, you know, age or whether you're single or whether you're gay or lesbian, doesn't matter. What matters is whether adoption's right for you.
Talk to anyone who fosters and adopted through Derby City, and I think you'll get a really positive response that people say it was one of the best decisions they took for them and their families. They felt really rewarded by looking after children and watching them grow and develop in their care.
Don't worry about it all. It doesn't matter what the child's background is, where they come from, what their history is. You are adopting them, that little girl, no one else. And you know, she needs a mum and a dad, and if you can do that, that's all you need to know.